Hey there, Smith Jack USMC. What I'm doing right now is giving you basic handgun knowledge for those who don't have handgun knowledge. Basic terminology, nomenclature, and the use of the different parts of the gun, basically. So we have here, we have three different kinds of gun. We have a 380, 6R, we have a Beretta, and 40 caliber, and we have a Smith & Wesson and 9mm. Now, they may be three completely different guns, and if I had a Glock here, you would see also that the functions are pretty much the same, plus or minus a few levers. Alright, so we'll start with the SIG SAR. This is a SIG 230 SL. That's the name of it. The brand is SIG, okay, or SIG SAR, whichever you prefer, or SIG Arms was the old name for it. It's changed a few times. Alright, this is a blowback action type of pistol. It operates with a spring that wraps around the center of the barrel, unlike others that have a different operating system called the Browning lockup. Okay, now what you saw there, let me just go over the basic parts. Alright, this right here, that's your front sight, rear sight. This is a hammer. This lever here is a decocking switch. This is the trigger. This is the magazine release on this particular model. Okay, this is called a muzzle, and the muzzle is the end of the barrel. Okay, this is a chamber right there. That's the chamber. The front of the slide right inside there where the bullet hits, that's called a breech face. And this little gadget right here is called an extractor. Okay, basics of this gun. And this is a takedown lever. Flip this lever down, turn it over, lift up, and the gun comes apart. That's why it's called a takedown lever, because that's how you take it apart. Now notice the way the spring is located. This is a recoil spring. This is the barrel. Alright? This is a slide locking lever, but it does not have external access like some other guns do. You'll see the difference when I get to the next one. Alright? This is a magazine, also known as a clip, but it's truly not a clip. A clip, you'll see it sometimes in military rounds, it's about yay long, and it'll have 5 to 10 rounds stacked on it, and it's made for quickly loading a magazine. This is a magazine. It's self-contained, got a spring in it, feeds the rounds up to go into the chamber. Alright, and you insert the bullet, the direction of travel. This is a Beretta 96 Centurion. It's a compact Beretta. It's basically the same size Beretta, except for the barrel's about an inch shorter. Okay, now you see it has some varied switches on it, similar to the other one, but they're different. Okay, this is still the same, still a hammer, still a front sight, still a rear sight. This is a safety. It's also a decocking switch. Okay, the SIG SAR only has the one decocking switch. It doesn't have a safety lever. It's double action and single action with a decocking switch. Now you can get this Beretta in the same style with a decocker only, minus the safety. You would pull this to decock and it would spring back up again. Alright, now the magazine release is right here on these for easy access with a thumb. Or if you're left-handed, you'd reach over here with your index finger and be able to press it also, or pick your finger. Alright, now this is the slide locking lever. You can push it up, pull the slide back, and it'll lock it in place. Also, when you have an empty magazine, it'll lock it back. Alright, now some will teach you to brush this with your thumb to let it go forward. The common practical combat usage nowadays is just to grab the slide, pull back slightly, and release. And ignore using this because you have to change your grip to hit that lever. Okay, this is the trigger. Alright, no bullet. Alright, trigger releases the hammer. Now, here's something I didn't point out before. This is double action. 1 is pulling back, cocking. 2, releasing. When the hammer's back, it's single action. It's already cocked. We're just releasing. So that's the difference between double action and single action. This is where the magazine inserts. Same on all guns, on all these semi-automatics. It's also called a magazine well. Okay. This is a lanyard loop. You'll find these on military type weapons for what we call dummy cord. Alright, once again, muzzle, barrel, chamber, breech face, extractor. This is a takedown lever right here on this gun. You got a release button on this side you press in, put this button down, and the slide releases and comes off. Okay. Recoil spring, guide rod. Guide rod, recoil spring. Barrel, and locking block. Okay, slide. Simple. They're all the same. Alright, Smith & Wesson 9mm. This is the Smith & Wesson 915. Now the buttons and switches and levers are all the same as they are in the Beretta. This is a safety and decocking switch. Trigger, breech, not breech, muzzle, slide. This is your chamber. That's your breech face. Extractor. Alright. Slide lock lever. Right. Trigger. This has a magazine disconnect. It will not fire without the magazine inserted into the magazine well. Follow me? You getting the terminology here? Oh yeah, and this is called what? A trigger guard. So you don't accidentally bang the trigger from the outside. You have to insert your finger and pull the trigger. Okay, decocker, rear sight, front sight. Okay. Now how's this one take down? Well, it's not too much different. You got to kind of do it almost like a Glock. You pull this back and line that up right there. And press on this side, right there in that little hole. Push this pin out. And slide it forward. Right, throw that down. Release the recoil spring, guide rod, barrel. This has a Browning lockup. I don't know what they call that one on the Beretta, but it's different than the Browning lockup. Browning was the one, I forget his first name now. Browning designed this system where the barrel locks into place inside the slide. It's called a Browning lockup. All it is when the round goes off, it delays the slide movement by about a couple hundredths of a second before it does this. Back into place again. So it gives the round time to get out of the barrel. Once again, slide. Alright, so that's gun parts for dummies. Thanks for watching. Semper Fi.